Video shot over an extended period of time. This is the Bastos Camaro Z-28 from Scalextric. This is a pre-production car that Scalextric sent to me a few months ago now, and yeah, it's still not out, but I figured I'd do some late night laps with it here, and I started doing this before I got COVID for the second time, evidently, and just finishing it up now. And I'm going to publish the video tomorrow, Thursday, and I figured I'd just show you all what you're going to be able to get pretty soon. Okay, let's open up the car. We have time. What do we got? Okay, we got a full interior. It's a little odd, but whatever, it's fine. Driver's got his feet way out there. Okay, anyway, okay, well, not too much to say about the underside of the car. Here we go again with these. These really don't need to be here, guys. Stop it. Okay, light boards that easily come askew. That's fine. We can put that back. We have the technology. And not really too much to say about the interior. Sidewinder, as we know. Probably these things. Here's another reason that slot car racers hate extra wiring here and there. These things usually hit the underside of the body tray. This is something that people don't take into account who design slot cars. Hopefully they do care, but it seems to be consistently that nobody does. These things almost always make contact. Contact, as we all know, say it with me, between the body and the chassis is bad. Not really too much to say. Okay, something I really intensely dislike that Scalextric does. I asked them about not to do this anymore. Whatever. The front axle is not removable easily. The front axle is trapped in place. The wheels are reasonably round. That's nice. There's no bearing on the front axle. The front axle is a press fit. There is a little bit of side-to-side motion, which is nice, but I guess this makes it cheaper to install the front axle. And oh boy, should I do this? I'm gonna break this here. This is not coming off easily. I'm not gonna do it. I chickened out. Yeah, so the axle is trapped in place. Not only does it make it difficult to repair, it makes it impossible to replace, especially here in North America where Scalextric doesn't sell parts. Yes, another issue that I had talked to them about. They do sell parts, but you have to order them directly from the UK in fairly large quantity, and consequently very few people get them because dealers have to pre-order them themselves, and then they have to take all of that quantity themselves. Scalextric doesn't want to stock body parts or parts in general because people frankly don't order them. But if you anyway, okay, not really too terribly much to look at here inside the body, but a nice basic chassis, very cool. And yeah, let's get this guy back on the track. So, what can we say about this car? Well, it sure looks good. I owned a 76 Camaro, did not have the good fortune to own the Z-28, but this car fits in nicely with the previous F-body release Camaro that they've done from the early 70s. This is like a 70 and a half, 71, 72 body. And we all know about this car. You know, the Trans Am mold has been a staple around slot car tables in the US for, oh God, a while now. And this car is not a Trans Am car. They didn't Trans Am race these cars when they get to those years. These were, this car is a model of a European touring car, European GT series, basically. And yeah, I mean, they did a really nice job with it. It's a very well-known car that still races around Europe. The big problem, if you'd want to say I have a problem with it, the big problem I have with this is the wheels. Not the fact that they're BBS type, the fact that they are, I mean, essentially, these should be dished. This is not a front-wheel drive car. This is a rear-wheel drive car. And this car should not have had flat wheels, low-profile tires. It is a Sidewinder, thankfully. I'm very happy about that. It has a DPR door, which doesn't matter to me whatsoever, but to many people it does. This is the only negative thing I have to say about this car, is that they could have used these wheels, and tires on this car. And I've mentioned this before. It doesn't take away really from the performance of this car, I guess. I mean, maybe it does, but I don't have a timing system here yet, so I couldn't tell you. But it certainly takes away from the looks. Most of this car pictures, if you look online, are with Mini Light style silver wheels. I'll find a photo or two and drop it in here. Not with these wheels. Now, that's fine if you're trying to make a car that was a certain point in time, and you know, you want to say, okay, well, this was this race, and during this specific race, this car had these BBS style mesh wheel. Fine, not a problem. That makes sense to me entirely. I just, the low profile flat wheel, it just doesn't look right on this car to me personally. One thing that they really did capture well on this car is the scooped nature of all of the inlets, the lower grill, which from memory, a friend of mine had a 79Z, and I believe this was blocked up. There wasn't actually open grill work, but I'm not 100% sure about that. And then this grill was is nicely inset, even though it's just painted inset like that. But these the headlight bezels are really nicely executed on this model. And to me, this very angular look to the front end on this car, all these lines are like so crucial. And then the bezel inset, and I mean the hood, I wish the hood, there was a little more relief on the hood, because to me, like this car from the front clip, which is all of the front body work, basically above from the windshield forward, the front clip, this car is about that. It's this shape, all these shapes, you know, from the previous Camaros, which were a lot smoother, a lot swoopier, a lot more organic. When you got to the late 80s, they got very, very angular, and it had a certain look to it that I mean, I think either you loved it or you hated it, and I was a big fan. So anyway, they really, Scalextric really nailed this, and I'm really, really happy that they did. Wheels aside, I'll stop harping on the wheels. They really nailed this, and I'm really, really happy that they like got the things on this car that they needed to get. arguably they did a much better job on this than the IROC Z that they released recently. This car is just, it's got some of the subtle things that you'd really hope a designer would care about when they're designing a slot car, when they're getting the shapes right, because, you know, these companies are all European, so we always kind of look with a more critical eye when we get an American car, don't we? And we wonder kind of what the care is that the designers take. You know, do they really try? Do they really put effort into this? Sometimes you can see that things are a little blocky, things are a little long, things are a little interpreted more than they should be, things are flat, things are not flat. This, they got that kind of French je ne sais quoi, my favorite phrase, that certain I don't know what. I really feel they nailed it. Now, there's certain things maybe that they could have accentuated more of the shape of the car. You know, in this car, you have a lot of hip. You have a lot of Rubenesque, a lot of feminine shape going on here. That's really nice. This car would have been probably a street car. This car would have been a purpose-built car, quote-unquote street car, but, you know, they did things to them. But this feels really right to me in ways that a lot of American themed slot cars just haven't. Yeah, I'm not sure about those taillights. Anyway, but it's really nice. This car is not out yet. I was shocked to get a sample from Scalextric of this car months in advance now of this car being released, and I've been driving it on my track, as you can see. I'm getting over COVID, so I don't really have as full a voice as I would like, so forgive the extra raspiness of my voice. God, I hate my voice, but I hate it a little worse now with this raspiness going on. Anyway, so I've had this car on and off my track, and it's a real pleasure to see it going around. Yes, it's fast enough, but just to see the thing moving, to see all these shapes moving on a track, the contours of this car, and to finally see a car that, you know, I have a personal connection with, a shape, body shape, trade dress, they call it, of a car. Such a strong connection. You know, my friend with a 79 and I had a 76 Camaro. And yeah, so this is this shape, this nose, just absolutely nailed it for me. And I really like the fog lights there too. That's a really nice touch. Anyway, time for some more late night laps with the car.